Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Will Solskjaer be a success at Manchester United? I don't think he will be, and I think a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect. Obviously Solskjaer has been under pressure. Obviously prior to the Villarreal game we lost 3 of our last 4 games in all competitions. It was good to see us get back to winning ways against Villarreal, but despite us beating Villarreal, there's still Man United fans that are demanding Ole out. I presume there's still some Man United fans that are Ole in. Well, I reckon he's going to be staying at Manchester United for at least this season. Solskjaer's job is safe for now, because the Man United board retain full support for Solskjaer. Solskjaer got very good backing in the summer transfer window. John Murtough backed him. John Murtough is our director of football, and we made the right decision getting a director of footballing, because I did mention that's one of the structural changes we needed at the club. Darren Fletcher also backed Solskjaer in the summer transfer window. And surprisingly, our owners, the Glazers, backed Solskjaer, but only because they'd been persuaded to. Ed Woodward has said several times before that he'd back Solskjaer, and when we was enduring them bad periods under Solskjaer, Woodward did assure that Solskjaer's job was safe. Woodward's leaving Man United. It got announced he was leaving back in April when that European Super League came into the equation. Woodward's had a 16-year association with the club. Solskjaer has to win a trophy, I'd say, within the next 18 months to save his job. You know, that's what Gary Neville reckons anyway. Solskjaer's not yet won a trophy as Man United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017. And a few weeks ago, Solskjaer did mention that we must leave a legacy of silverware. We know Solskjaer's ambition for this season, and that's to win the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, and we should be winning the league this season because we've got a title winning squad, so there's no more excuses. And earlier on this season, Solskjaer told his Man United squad that it's better than the 1999 treble winning team that Ole was part of. You know, we've had 1 defeat so far in the league this season. Obviously, we lost to Aston Villa, but apart from that, we've enjoyed a good start to the Premier League season. And I did mention at the start of this season that this season was going to be massive for Solskjaer because he's got big expectations to exceed. This season is Solskjaer's 3rd full season as Man United manager. Solskjaer has managed over 150 games as Man United manager in all competitions. Obviously, in the summer, Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year. And we made a mistake giving him that new contract, because I can assure he won't see it out. Solskjaer has been in charge of Manchester United for almost 3 years now. Before he was with us, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. And before then, he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. The reason he got sacked from Cardiff is because he ended up getting Cardiff relegated. And Ole managed Man United reserve team for a couple of years, so he watched some of this team grow and develop. So Ole has no proven pedigree as a manager. That's definitely a concern. And there's also a lot of United fans that have got strong reservations about Solskjaer's decision making. Analysing the vast majority of the games Solskjaer has managed at Man United is being tactically naive. But Solskjaer has gained some managerial experience, reflecting how long he's been at the club. And he's learnt quite a bit on the job, but there's still plenty of things Solskjaer's got to learn because he's still a young coach. But whatever happens regarding Solskjaer, we'll always adore him because at the end of the day, he is a club legend. He endured 11 years as a player for Man United. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. But you know, there is some United fans that want Antonio Conte to replace Solskjaer. And there's also some Man United fans that are demanding Zidane in. We appointed Solskjaer in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. In Solskjaer's first 3 months, he was the interim manager. Did very, very well as the interim manager. He won 14 games out of 19 in all competitions. So reflecting on that, Man United decided to give Solskjaer the job permanently in March 2019. I've got to give Solskjaer credit. You know, I've got to say that he has done a good job to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager. Because Solskjaer was inheriting a lot of deadwood. And he's still inheriting some of the deadwood now. I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect I'm shocked. And Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at Man United it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. You know, in certain aspects Solskjaer has brought consistency back. Solskjaer has made good signings as Manchester United manager. So far, Solskjaer has signed 14 players. And we've spent like 441 million under Solskjaer. So in the summer of 2019, Ole recommended Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January 2020, he recommended Bruno Fernandes in and Odi Nagalo in on loan. In the summer of 2020, he brought Donny van de Beek in, Edison Cavani, Alex Telles, Amad Diallo and Facundo Pellistri. And in this year's summer transfer window, Ole brought 4 players in. Obviously brought Tom Heaton in on a free from Villa, brought Jadon Sancho in from Dortmund, brought Rafael Varane in from Real Madrid, and we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. And we spent like 141 million in this year's summer transfer window. Ole's also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in, which he knew he had to do. He's got rid of a lot of players permanently. He's also loaned players out. The players he's got rid of permanently, obviously, he got rid of Daniel James in this year's summer transfer window. Sold him to Leeds for 25 million. The reason we sold him is because we re-signed Ronaldo. Solskjaer also released Joe Pereira and Sergio Romero. Also in January, Ole offloaded Igalo, he offloaded Fossa Mensah, and he offloaded Marcus Rojo. Ole's also got rid of players like Ashley Young, Valencia, Smalling, Darmian, Herrera, Angel Gomez. Fellaini let him go back in January 2019. Also offloaded Sanchez and Romelu Lukaku. So they're a lot of the players we got rid of permanently under Ole. The players he loaned out in the summer transfer window, obviously loaned Brandon Williams out, Axel Tuanzebe, Andres Pereira, Ethan Laird, Tahith Chon and Facundo Pellistri. Loaned some players out in January, didn't he, as well? Obviously some players have come back now though from their loans. I like the way Solskjaer develops the youth. Seems to have a lot of trustworthy in his young players, and Solskjaer has more or less given everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players, like he surely would do when he got appointed in as Man United manager. You know, progress has been made under Ole. You know, he's obviously got us to semi-finals, you know, got us to the Europa League final last season. That was his first major final as Man United manager, and he got us to the FA Cup quarter-final last season, so there you go. And last season, Solskjaer got us a second place finish in the Premier League, and last season, in his first full season, he got us a third place finish. So what Solskjaer produced in his first full season, his second full season, he's looking to build on that this season. We've also extended a lot of players' contracts under Ole. Earlier on this season, Ole mentioned that he wants new contracts for 5 players. That's Pogba, Fernandes, Rashford, Shaw and Harry Maguire. So, you know, they are the positives. I reckon Solskjaer is our best manager since Ferguson. You know, despite me criticising him a lot during his managerial tenure at Man United. You know, Ole's obviously not going to replicate what Ferguson did at Man United. No manager's going to replicate what Ferguson did. Not in my lifetime, anyway. Obviously, Ferguson endured a 27-year tenure at Man United, won 30-odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles. So, reflecting on that, he brought success to the club, but Fergie didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. So, that just indicates it takes some managers time to settle in. You know, the only mistake Fergie made was ever recommending David Moyes in when he retired. But the reason he did that is because he had a lot of time for Moyes, plus they're both Scottish. But yeah, since Ferguson, we have been playing catch-up. 3 managers have been sacked since Ferguson. We sacked Moyes, we sacked Van Gaal, and we sacked Jose Mourinho. Didn't we? We must have brought around 44 players in, is it now, since Ferguson retired? You know, our squad is worth around 805 million. We've got like the 3rd most expensive squad in world football. You know, we've got a very, very good squad. Obviously, we've got the best player in the world in Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo's done really well since he re-signed. You know, Ronaldo scored 5 goals in 5 games. Obviously, Ronaldo saved Manchester United against Villarreal. You know, Ronaldo scored the winning goal in the 95th minute of stoppage time. Obviously, Solskjaer said he was grateful for Ronaldo's winner, but he said Manchester United were lucky. It was Ronaldo's 178th Champions League appearance. But like I said to you earlier on today, Ronaldo can't keep saving Solskjaer at Man United. It said not so long ago that Ronaldo wants to retire at Man United, then coach Cristiano Jr. in the Red Devils youth team. Prior to the Aston Villa game, Solskjaer said he believes Cristiano Ronaldo can keep playing at Man United into his 40s. He's 36 at the moment. Ronaldo's already hinted that he's looking to stay at Man United beyond his current contract. Ronaldo's under contract with Man United till 2023. There's an option of a further year. Don't forget, Ronaldo receives £480,000 a week, so he's the highest earner at Man United. Ronaldo wears the number 7 shirt, got him for 19.8 million with add-ons included. We've got Jadon Sancho. That is a good player, but he's not enjoyed a good start to his Man United career. Like I've said before, though, it does take some players time to settle in. I think Solskjaer plays Sancho out of position. He seems to put him on the left, doesn't he? He can play on the left, but obviously he's more effective on the right because the right wing is Sancho's predominant position. Not so long ago, Borussia Dortmund warned Man United about the Jadon Sancho problem. Borussia Dortmund's CEO came out and said that Sancho's lack of game time at Man United is hurting my soul. We got Sancho in a deal worth 78 million with add-ons included. Man United paid 73 million up front. Sancho's under contract with Man United till June 2026. There's an option of a further year. Raphael Varane, he's also a very, very good centre-half. I think he's enjoyed a good start to his Man United career. I don't think he was too good though against Villarreal. That was the first poor game that Varane has enjoyed as a Man United player. We got Varane for 41 million with add-ons included. Man United paid 34 million up front. Varane is under contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year. Varane to Manchester United was official just before kick-off against Leeds, which was the opening day. But Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced and he's got a good pedigree as a player because when Varane was at Real Madrid, he won a lot of trophies. And he was a long-serving player at Real Madrid. He endured 10 years with them. Harry Maguire, he's a decent centre-half. He's had his good games at Man United. He's also had his bad games. He's been poor in quite a few games, though, Maguire, so far this season. He's obviously out with injury now. He's going to be out for a few weeks. Solskjaer's confirmed that. He came off injured in our 1-0 defeat to Villa last week. And Maguire was a big miss for us towards the end of last season because he had ligament damage in his ankle. We overpaid for Maguire, got him for 80 million. So he's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive signing at the club behind Paul Pogba. Eric Bailly, he's a decent centre-half. Like I said, he could be leaving next year because Bailly will find it difficult to get into the team. And his future's obviously in doubt with Man United signing Varane in the summer transfer window. Bailly played against West Ham in the Carabao Cup and he put a good performance out. That was his first start of this season. Towards the end of last season, Bailly signed a new contract with Man United till 2024. There's an option of a further year. Element of concern about Eric Bailly is injury prone, so in that aspect is a liability. He's been at Man United now for like 5.5 years. We got Bailly for 30 million from Villarreal back in 2016. You've got Luke Shaw. That's a very, very good left back. Luke Shaw's just recovered from a minor injury. He is injury prone, Luke Shaw, but despite that he's had a good career at Man United. Shaw has been at Manchester United now for like 7.5 years. And he's been our first choice left back for a while and he still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Alex Telles. I think it said earlier on this season that we are in the process of extending Luke Shaw's contract. I think he's got under 2 years left on his current contract. You've got Wan-Bissaka, decent right back. and he's one of the best right backs we've had since Gary Neville. But despite that, there's aspects of his game that I've got to improve. Pisaka has got to get forward more. His positioning's got to improve. His crossing's got to improve as well. But defensively, more or less, he's always been superb. Pisaka obviously didn't play against Villarreal because he was suspended. Pisaka got sent off in our 2-1 defeat to Young Boys for stamping on Martins. You know, this season is Pisaka's third full season at Man United. We got him in a deal worth 50 million from Crystal Palace back in the summer of 2019. David De Gea, obviously he's a very, very good goalkeeper. Obviously Solskjaer has hailed De Gea as the best goalkeeper in the world. De Gea made some fantastic saves in the game against Villarreal. You know, De Gea kept us in that game, especially in the first half. Now, obviously, in the summer, De Gea decided to cut short his holiday by 2 weeks to fight for the starting place. And he said he's determined to fight for his Man United future. We know that De Gea has reclaimed the #1 spot back. This season is De Gea's 11th season at Man United. He's been a long servant. He's been with us since the Ferguson era. Obviously, De Gea has made mistakes in the last couple of years and he's been heavily criticised for that. But he's made up for it so far this season, to his credit. De Gea's got, is it like 2 years or under 2 years left on his contract, and he receives £375,000 a week. De Gea has won everything domestically at the football club and he's made over 500 appearances for Man United in all competitions. Dean Henderson, you know, I think he's also a good goalkeeper. He's obviously now back, Dean Henderson. He was in goal for the game against West Ham in the Carabao Cup. Don't forget, at one point Henderson was out with COVID for a while. Henderson did well in a lot of the games I was in goal for last season. Before the start of last season, Henderson signed a 6-year contract with Man United, so reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. Henderson has got that experience behind him. He enjoyed 2 successful loans with Sheffield. He's also had other loan spells before. Donny van der Beek, you know, he's also a good player, but like I've said, I haven't really had much of a perception on him at Manchester United because he doesn't get enough game time. Now, earlier on today, I gave you the news on Donny van der Beek. It said that Donny van der Beek visually furious with Solskjaer as he was left on the bench in Man United's win over Villarreal. Van der Beek was spotted throwing chewing gum in the dugout. Van der Beek will try to force a January transfer away from Man United following his Villarreal meltdown. And like I said, Solskjaer needs to start Van der Beek, especially in the Premier League. You know, Van der Beek played the full 90 minutes against West Ham in the Cup last week. Put a very, very good performance out. Started against Young Boys a couple of weeks ago in the Champions League, but Solskjaer taking him off at half-time in that game, and I heavily criticised Solskjaer for that because Van der Beek was our best player in the first half of that game. Many clubs have been in for Van der Beek though. Don't forget Solskjaer rejected Van der Beek's exit because it said Everton were close to signing him on loan. Earlier on this season, Van der Beek told Solskjaer his best position Van der Beek reckons he'd be best served operating as a number 6 or as a number 8. And earlier on this season, Van der Beek spoke about his Man United future in an exclusive interview with Rio Ferdinand. This season's Van der Beek's second full season. We got him for 40 million with add-ons included. Got a contract with Man United till 2025, and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Obviously, you've got Paul Pogba. That's very, very good. You know, Pogba's enjoyed a good start to this season. Paul Pogba has already got 7 assists in the league. He produced good performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season, but at one point last season he was out with a thigh injury for a while, and he sustained some ankle injuries at Man United. Now I hope Paul Pogba signs a new contract. Before the start of the season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract. Next summer, Pogba's current contract at Man United expires. It said earlier on this season that Pogba's very likely to leave Man United on a free next summer. He said not so long ago that Man United must sell Pogba in January to buy players. A few weeks ago, Paul Pogba's agent Mino Raiola suggested that Paul Pogba could return to Juventus from Man United on a free next summer. Because Mino Raiola did mention that Turin is still in Paul Pogba's heart. Well, Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined Man United. But he said the other week that Juventus have no plans to re-sign Pogba next summer when his contract expires. A few weeks ago, Paul Pogba's brother Matthias Pogba came out and said that Paul Pogba's yet to decide on his future. And he said his contract situation is up in the air. So there you go. Bruno Fernandes, he's obviously very, very good. Bruno Fernandes recently got the assist for the Telles goal against Villarreal. Executed the free kick to perfection. Also had a chance in the game to score. Fernandes missed a penalty in the 93rd minute of stoppage time in the 1-0 defeat to Villa. So Bruno Fernandes missed out on the opportunity to salvage a point. I think it was the first penalty that Bruno Fernandes missed as a Manchester United player. There has been quite a few games though where Bruno Fernandes has looked off the pace, but analysing the vast majority of the games he's played, he's been very consistent. Said a few weeks ago that Bruno Fernandes is close to signing a new 5-year contract with Man United worth £250,000 a week with the signing of Ronaldo. At the moment, Fernandes is under contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year. Bruno Fernandes wants to stay at Man United. He's already made that clear. Last season, he won Player of the Year and he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. Fernandes has been a Man United player now for almost 2 years. But he's one of our best players, like I said, and he's one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. You know, you've got Mason Greenwood, that's also very good. So far this season, he's scored 3 goals in the Premier League. He's good at creating chances, is Mason Greenwood. He's got a long-term future at Man United, still young, got a lot of development in him. Greenwood made his senior debut for Man United back in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7, and last season Greenwood signed a new 4-year contract with the club. You've got Cavani, that's made an impact since he's come in. Cavani will leave in January or at the end of the season. Just come back from injury not so long ago. Back in May, Cavani signed a 1-year contract extension with Man United, didn't he? And he's on over £200,000 a week. And Marcus Rashford's good when he wants to be, but he's endured his bad periods at Man United. Rashford is now close to returning, which is good news from Man United perspective. Will look much better when Rashford comes back into the team. He has been out with a shoulder injury. So yeah, we have got a good squad. There's some players that aren't good enough to represent the club. Fred's not good enough. Some United fans say McTominay's not good enough. Like I said though, Solskjaer trusts Fred and McTominay in Man United's midfield. There's been United fans having a go at Solskjaer for persistently selecting McTominay and Fred. I don't think Matic is good enough either. Lindelof's not good enough. Obviously Martial, he isn't good enough. So there you go. And obviously there's a few players that don't even get in our team much. Dalot doesn't play a lot. Dalot only played against Villarreal because Pizzaka was suspended. Tellez doesn't play that a lot. He only played against Villarreal and that because Luke Shaw was out. Jones, he's another one as well. He doesn't get in our team. Juan Mata, he doesn't get in our team either. So there you go. So anyway guys, that's everything to update for today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And on my next video, I'll be giving you my reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference ahead of the Everton game. Subscribe, it's Red Devil 24, so do it.